Here are the individuals who I feel are the 5 biggest X factors on the New York Mets in 2024. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Quick reminder, please like and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. If you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate everybody's support. All right, let's talk a little New York Mets. So pitchers and catchers have reported already. Position players have already started to show up. It's a season filled with a whole lot of question marks for the New York Mets. We're going to get into all of that in due time. We will be doing a whole preview episode, all kinds of things coming up. But this team has a lot of questions coming in. That doesn't mean the team is going to be horrible, but there are a lot of people where we really don't know what to expect this season. And I've got 5 people in particular who I think can make a big difference between this team being, I think, a legitimate playoff contender or this team just being a complete washout, and it'll have us looking forward to football by the 4th of July. All right, so the first player for me is Starling Marte. Now, this is a player to me who, ever since he got hurt in September of 2022, when he went down, the Mets went down. Now, he's been playing winter ball like he normally does, and he's playing pretty well. 367 batting average, 872 OPS. He's played right field in the Winter League, and he's done that for 9 innings, which is very, very important. But during the 2022 offseason, it was said that he was having core muscle surgery. It turned out to be double groin surgery, and as we know, he was never, ever the same player in 2023. He played 86 games only, missed the final 2 months of the season, hit .248, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs, and you compare that to the previous year, 2022, where he batted .292 with 16 home runs, 63 RBIs, and the difference in OPS was stark. In 2022, his OPS was 814. Last season, it was only 625. That is scary. The only thing Marte really did do well was steal 24 bases compared to 18 in the previous year, but he never ever recovered from that double groin surgery. But now what we're seeing in winter ball from all reports, he's not only stealing bases, but he's looking a little bit better on defense. He's bunting, he's able to get base hits. And you could say that it's lower competition in the winter ball, and that's fine, but it's not so much about that. The most important thing with Marte is that he's healthy, he's feeling good, and he's feeling confident, and that seems to be the case. But the Mets did not get a whole lot of insurance for Starling Marte. He is the team's starting right fielder, and when he's healthy, he's an absolutely dynamic player, but, a player who's in his, getting to his mid-30s, how much does he have left to give? And remember, he's under contract for 1 more year after this one. Because as Marte goes, the Mets go. That is what we have seen over the last 2 seasons. So, if he's not playing, then what are we looking at in right field? I mean, Trace Thompson, is that what we're going to be looking at here? So, Marte's health is paramount for this team. Number 2 is Brett Baty. Now, in 263 games in the Mets system, not a very small sample size, he batted .290, .390, .507. That was his slash line of batting average, on base, and slugging. Hit 48 home runs, 180 RBIs, and 64 doubles. But then, 400 plate appearances with the Mets last season, he batted only .212. If you want to look at wins above replacement, if you want to look at WAR, it was negative .5. Not very good, but he struck out 28% of the time, and it seemed like he was taking his struggles into the field. Everything was it was compounding for him. But now I believe he's 24 years old, and Brett Baty really has to show something this year. I was actually surprised the Mets did not get another player like a Justin Turner to at least platoon with Beatty. Turner, he's known for his clubhouse presence, his positive personality. I felt he could serve as a mentor of sorts for Brett Beatty. It was something I was not very big on early on, but the more I thought about it, I came around on the idea of Justin Turner, but that did not happen, and instead, for third base, it's basically going to be Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos. I am not a big Mark Vientos fan, particularly because of his defense and his high strikeout rate. Brett Beatty should be a very good contact hitter and a solid third baseman in the field. The Mets put a lot of stock in Brett Beatty, and he really is going to get this year to prove himself, because I'm telling you, if he doesn't prove himself, the Mets have a lot of young prospects who could come up and potentially take that spot. So this is an absolute make or break year for Brett Beatty. Number 3 is Luis Severino. Now, with Severino, he pitched 89 innings over 19 starts in 2023. Now, in his past, we've seen the highs, we've seen the lows. He's a 2-time All-Star. In 2017, came in 3rd in the Cy Young voting. This past year, had a 6.65 ERA. You know what, though? He could still be the Mets' best starting pitcher. I don't think there is another pitcher who has quite as high an upside, and I like Kodai Senga a lot. But when Severino is on, he is really on. Now, the report is that he was really tipping pitches last season, particularly his breaking pitches. And you do have to be encouraged by his fastball velocity. It still ranks in the 88th percentile in all of baseball. So there is hope that on a one-year prove-it deal, he could turn it around with the Mets this season. All right, number 4 is Jorge Lopez. We got to talk bullpen. Now, this bullpen really needed another reliable arm, because this rotation is primarily made up of middle-of-the-road guys. Hauser, Quintana, Minaya, guys like that. So they really needed another reliable bullpen arm, because if you don't have a dominant starting rotation, and not many teams do nowadays, since starters typically will pitch 6 innings, you need depth in the bullpen, whether it's because of injuries or whether somebody's game goes to hell. Right? Now, Lopez, for a while, was the only major league arm that they had signed. Signed him to a major league deal. And eventually they did sign Jake Diekman, Adam Ottavino as well. Everybody else is a minor league deal, a 2-way deal, a 5-way deal, whatever kind of deals you can make. And there are also some pitchers they signed, like Shintaro Fujinami, who have several minor league options, so they could send them down. Because to me, the return of Edwin Diaz is not enough. And I love Diaz, but if you can't get to the 9th inning with the lead, of what use is a great closer, really? And Jorge Lopez has shown dominant numbers in the past in Baltimore, especially in 2022. We really saw this with David Stearns. He signed quite a few relievers who have previously had very good seasons, but for whatever reason weren't quite as good in 2023, which makes sense in a way, because you never know with a lot of these relief pitchers what you're going to get from one year to the next. So Jorge Lopez, to me, has the upside to be a really, really good 8th inning pitcher. Ottavino, he's good, but we know he's a little prone to the home run ball. He could be a little bit up or down. So I think Lopez could be that high upside reliever. Let's see what we get from him. And number 5 for me is not a player. Number 5 to me is Carlos Mendoza. What is he? What kind of manager is he going to be? Does he know when to take out a pitcher? Does he know when to leave one in? Does he know when to, is he going to be a hit and run type of manager? Does he believe in bunting? Is he going to substitute players a lot? What's his overall demeanor? Is he hands-on? Is he hands-off? We've seen certain managers who like to let the players do their thing, and we see managers who micromanage a little bit more. Well, Carlos Mendoza has not been a manager in a long, long time, and he's never done it in the major leagues. So we've got a lot to learn about him. And I am interested to see what type of manager he is. I will say this, in his press conference, he was talking about relationships and, building camaraderie and great communication. I thought I was listening to the Hispanic version of Mickey Callaway. When Mickey Callaway, in his opening press conference, talked about loving on the players and all of this, and we know how that turned out. So let's see what Carlos Mendoza winds up doing as a manager. All right, well, those are my 5 X factors on the New York Mets in terms of 5 individuals. Let me know who your most pivotal Mets are. Put it right down there in the comments. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Also, quick reminder, if you haven't seen the Mets Prospect Profile series that I did, those videos are all up. There's 3 different videos counting down, in my mind, the top 20 New York Mets prospects. Definitely check that out. All right, thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm out. We'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.